So, was watching YouTube last night and I found this video of basically conservatives crying about being called a Nazi for doing Nazi-like behavior. It's supposed to be a comedy. It isn't really funny. Okay, I do have the playback on regular speed. I had it sped up earlier so I could, do research to disprove the points, which 2 seconds of Google would have destroyed this entire video. But hey, it's conservatives. Not exactly smartest people out there. Figured I'd go into it. I initially thought it was going to be kind of like, in The Onion kind of skit. Some little satirical, poking fun at it. It wasn't. I think it'll be pretty
Hi,
apparent here.
my name is Chuck, and I'm a Nazi. Like, actually, I'm a real card-carrying Nazi.
I mean, seems
Literally.
like a good setup for a joke, right?
Here's my card.
I thought so at first, just
I've
watching
been a
through.
Nazi as long as I can remember. I believe all the standard Nazi stuff. I hate minorities and undesirables. I think Aryans should rule the world. The Third Reich
Yeah,
shall
that's
rise
Nazi
again.
stuff, right?
All the classics. But
Yeah, good
it's
setup
not as
for a
fun to be a
potential
Nazi
joke.
anymore. When they started
I
calling
could see
Elon
The
Musk a Nazi,
Onion doing this really well. This is where it lost me. Right here.
and Trump and,
Let's just pull up the Elon Musk tweet. Basically, this is the original anti-Semitic tweet that he got in a lot of trouble for. Ooh, the Jewish community's been pushing dialectical hatred. Basically, it's Nazi stuff. The Hitler salute? Like, come on. Do I need to say more? It's 1-to-1. This is an actual, like, this is a neo-Nazi parade or whatever, march or whatever they're doing. This is Elon Musk. It looks exactly the same. Who can forget Grok calling itself Mecha Hitler? What? How are you defending this man still?
pretty much every
It's
Republican.
insane.
It made it a lot harder for me to stand out. It's like I go out in public and I'm like, hey everyone, I'm a Nazi. And they're like, big deal. Everyone we don't like is a Nazi.
That's just stupid. I mean, if you're getting called a Nazi, you probably need to do some self-reflection. I don't really make these kind of videos ever. I just kind of talk about my life and experiences as well as gameplay sometimes. But I saw this last night and it was so stupid that I just knew that I had to make a video on it. It was mind-boggling. Like, this is some crybaby stuff.
It makes me feel less special. You
Oh,
know, the
boo-hoo.
swastika armband, it used to mean something. Now I'm walking down the street and every Tesla has a swastika painted on it. Every Republican.
I mean, Elon Musk is a Nazi. Now, I don't care about the, like, what, Tesla dealership vandalism. I don't care. Do I think people should be having, like, swastikas on their, sprayed on their cars? I mean, depends on when you bought it, I guess. Still, I don't care. They're complaining about stuff that doesn't happen.
Garage door has one. I just
Oh,
can't stand out
boo-hoo,
from the
you're the
crowd.
victim.
Nowadays, anyone who owns a
I don't
Tesla is a
care.
Nazi. Anyone who voted for Trump is a Nazi. Anyone who
That's just generalization, which is incredibly stupid. I mean, my parents, they're not Nazis. Ooh, any conservative person I know. No. I mean, I think it's stupid if you did vote for him. That doesn't automatically make you a Nazi if you can, like, wake up and see what's happening.
believes in
Like, they're doing Nazi stuff. You have ICE basically being the secret police, the Gestapo, like silencing critics, deporting people, putting people in literal concentration camps like Alligator Alcatraz, or shipping them up to El Salvador. Like, that's insane. And then you have, it's not Customs and Border Patrol, it's the National Guard basically serving as the brown shirts. That's, going around breaking up peaceful protests, antagonizing people. The anti ICE protests in California. Pretty overwhelmingly peaceful. Why would you bring in the National Guard for that? Like, they're just blocking ICE agents from going into a Home Depot. Why are ICE agents going to Home Depot? That is so incredibly stupid. There's not, like, violent Tren Aragua gangs in a Home Depot. Think with your brain for 2 seconds.
Forcing our
It's
nation's
stupid.
laws is a Nazi. Anyone who doesn't want to sterilize and
This was the stupidest part. Basically saying, oh, trans people, that's like the chemically mutilating bodies. That's what Nazis do with the gas chambers. Nazis were inherently anti-trans. The academic foundation devoted to sexual or sexuological research, they did book burnings. They burned so many years of medical research on like homosexuality or transgender people, and they burned the books, and even threw like homosexual and trans people into the concentration camps. Saying that being pro-trans is like the Nazi gas chambers is insanely stupid. It is nonsensical. Like, if you're upset that we're calling your Nazi behavior, maybe change the behavior. Don't get offended when we point out that, oh, you're doing Nazi stuff. Book burning? Republicans are out there book banning. Basically doing like the modern equivalent of book burning. In some cases, literally doing book burning. Now, I did look into it a little bit with uh, puberty blockers, and I went down a kind of interesting rabbit hole with looking at scientific research studies, because that's something I like doing. I'm not a like history nerd. I'm not the best person equipped to make this, but I do know science. So this was an interesting thing to look at. From what I found, it is difficult to study the link between puberty blockers and suicidality because there's a lot of external factors that complicate studying that sort of thing. So, congratulations. You aren't the children killing themselves party yet. There still needs to be more research done on the topic. So, good job avoiding that. Now, saying it's basically mutilating kids with chemicals, that is so incredibly stupid. Puberty blockers just delay puberty. If you're like, oh, why are you forcing your ideology on kids? We're not. We're giving them more years to make a decision. We're not saying, oh, hey kid, you're going on estrogen and growing boobs. No, that's not what this does. You are delaying puberty. That is what it is. Puberty blockers block puberty for a limited period. It is very reversible. If you decide, hey, I'm not trans, I've been on puberty blockers for a little while, and it's not for me, you can stop taking them, go through puberty. No issue. Right? Isn't that like. This frustrates me so much because it's so stupid, the argument about it. You're just giving people more years to think about it. Now, if you want to say, oh, the side effects are minimal. Slightly decreased bone density, okay. Get some calcium supplements or something. Talk to your doctor about it. They can help you with that. It is tiny, insignificant side effects for giving people more years to decide if they are trans or not. Isn't that what you're advocating for? Not making children alter their bodies permanently? Puberty alters your body permanently. You can tell from my voice I've undergone male puberty, right? So, if you want to prevent permanent body changes, puberty blockers will delay that to give you more time to think about it. It is so stupid. And I say this as someone who's both trans and Christian. I get it. But the way I see it, we are just using the tools that God gave us, right? Like, if you're going to be anti-science, be consistent. Why are you using electricity? Ooh, scary. Like, that's science, okay? You're gonna say, ooh, that goes against God's order. Like, at that point, just be Amish. And, like, if you're Amish, I can respect that, because at least that's consistent with it, right? It is mind-numbingly stupid. The mental loopholes these paper-skinned Nazis have to jump through to make them feel like themselves feel like the victims. It's always, oh, I'm the one being targeted here. I'm the victim. You're the evil one. It is, in my opinion, satanic. But that is a topic for another video. I am not someone who is equipped enough to start discussing the details of why I personally believe that the conservative movement is satanic and demonic. That is my personal belief. I am not an expert or someone who can properly convey that. But it is what I think. I think the, the protect the children idea that conservatives display is just insane when they're defending a rapist pedophile who is the president. He is very clearly in the Epstein files. You want to say, oh, Bill Clinton? Yeah, he is too. I don't care. I don't like Bill Clinton. Put him in jail. I don't care. The Republican Party is the one going into states lowering the age of consent, which is literally putting kids in danger. The, I believe it was one of the school boards in Ohio put a window in the children's bathroom so that they could check if kids were trans. I think it was also Ohio that had the basically genital inspection bill where they were so scared of trans people being in sports that they implemented a law where adults could look at children's genitals just to check if they're trans. How is that in any world protecting the kids? And I don't care if trans people are in sports anyways. There is no significant biological advantage if you have gone through hormone replacement therapy. You might not know this because you probably haven't picked up a book, but estrogen decreases muscle growth if you're also taking it with testosterone suppressant. Testosterone is what is responsible for muscle growth. So if a trans man goes from being mostly estrogen in their blood to then taking testosterone, they are going to gain muscle mass, making it virtually indistinguishable. Same with if you were taking estrogen and testosterone blockers. Your muscles will slightly atrophy. You will become a little bit weaker and have less muscle mass because you have less testosterone. It is, it's just science. Look it up, pick up a research book. If you're gonna say, oh, it's science or common sense, make sure that you're actually getting your points right. And stop being the pedophile party.
Mutilate people in bizarre medical experiments is a Nazi, which is a real head scratcher because, honestly, we've been huge supporters of that. Mangalo.
Gassing people and killing them is different from giving what is, in a lot of cases, life-saving treatment to people. I know a lot of trans people who their lives were basically saved by going on HRT. I am on HRT. I'm lucky enough to have not been suicidal. My life wasn't saved by HRT, but it was improved by it. I know people who probably would not be here today if it were not for HRT or gender affirming care.
Was a real pioneer. I'm just feeling discouraged. I used to be unique, special, different. There weren't many of us. It took real effort and commitment to be a Nazi.
I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point.
Now, all you have to do is simply imply online that you don't think students should be stabbed at football games or track meets, and bam, instant Nazi.
This is so insane, and I think I know what they're talking about as well. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing about this incident, which was basically just blown up because of the race of the people stabbed. Nobody wants people to be stabbed or shot. I am for gun control because people with guns kill a lot of people. We should not be giving mentally ill, crazy people guns to go shoot up a school. You care more about kids getting medication than you do about kids getting shot in school. That is insane to me. Because I see it all the time. People being like, no, we can't do gun control because, oh, it's gonna save kids' lives or something. Like, grow up. Grow a pair of balls. Like, dude, I'm a trans girl and my balls are bigger than yours. You don't have anything down there. Like, it's. These people are pathetic.
I used to be able to seek out in a crowded room and really cause a scene. But now,
It still
anyone who's doing the
does.
wave at a baseball game or sending their heart out to you in a speech is
Do I need to say anything else? It's 1 to 1, and he did it twice. And sure, maybe it was a mistake. I don't think so. But let's say hypothetically it was a mistake. If you made this mistake, would you then go on Twitter and start making Nazi puns? If I did that on accident, I would say, oh my gosh, it does kind of look like that. I'm sorry, didn't mean to. I wouldn't start saying, I did not see that coming. Like, that's insane. It, it's clearly not an accident.
apparently a
It's called
Nazi.
a dog whistle.
I guess I
Moron.
just want to go back to the old days when being a Nazi meant something. Because if we change the definition of Nazi to include any old Joe walking down the street, it loses its power. Because when everyone's a Nazi, no one is.
Okay, but what do you do when there's actual Nazis? Hmm? I mean, that's what we're seeing right here in America. The rise of the essentially modern Nazi movement. I'm gonna call it what it is. Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck. Act like a Nazi, have the same positions as Nazis. Basically, same rise to power as well. Um, there was a the Nazi Party initially tried to violently overthrow the government. Didn't work. You know what else didn't work? January 6th, which was a insurrection. And then afterwards, the Nazi Party got elected. Then they took over. Guess what? Pretty bad. Yeah, honestly, the you could have at least made it funny. It wasn't. I don't know, just grow a spine. At least have the balls to admit that you're a Nazi if you're gonna be a Nazi. It's just pathetic. Yeah. I don't make videos like this at all. And I don't think I will continue to, but this was so idiotic that I just had to. I also found a honestly much better video than mine going over some of this channel's videos. I don't think they covered this one, but it was entertaining. I'll go ahead and leave it in the comments. Alright, thanks for listening. I might get harassed for this, but I don't care. These people, they can go burn in hell. I don't, like, what they're doing is basically, it's borderline satanic, I'd say. Leave the kids alone. Uh, Stop supporting pedophiles. Uh, See ya. Trans rights.